This is a topic that a lot of people may not want to touch on or not even think about during the Christmas holidays. There are a lot of families that are dealing with domestic violence and they're not quite sure of what to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Christmas is a stressful time for everybody, but if there's already a pre-existing violent relationship, then Christmas can be a trigger for even greater violence.
Yeah, you mentioned the recent situation in Independence.
Right, yes, there was a double murder suicide. A man shot his estranged wife, the gentleman she was with, and then killed himself. And he did it very publicly in a bar. So at this time of year, if there's someone listening who has an offender who has shown the potential to be dangerous. For example, if you have an offender who has strangled you in the past, then you need to give particular concern to what you can do in order to ensure your safety.
Yeah. Now let's update everybody on what's happened in legislation, in state law. Gwen's law is something that we've seen a lot more often. And how is it implemented now in today's court system? Well,
the first year that it went into effect, and by the way, let me just say that I love Gwen's law. There was no discretion about when you had a hearing. You had to have what's called a 330.3 hearing every time there was an offense of a certain level. And now judges have discretion about when they can hold a 330.3 hearing. They're only held if a person, if an offender looks to be particularly dangerous. And at that hearing, then the prosecutor, in order to decide whether bond is appropriate or whether the person needs to be monitored with an ankle bracelet, he'll present every piece of paper that's ever been generated on that person, whether civil or criminal. For example, if there are past restraining orders, even if they were dropped or whatever, then they're still going to show up. If there are past domestic violence charges, then those are still going to show up. Plus, a lethality assessment done by law enforcement at the point of the arrest will also show up to help the judge decide exactly how much of a danger is this man to the people he's victimized and to the community as well.
It's very thorough.
Absolutely, it's very thorough.
Okay.
It's very thorough.
Another shocking thing that you told me about, the day after Christmas last year,
yes.
How many restraining orders did you deal with?
I believe the number, and I haven't double checked this, but if memory serves, the office at the 9th JDC did 11 restraining orders between 9 a.m. and 1 in the afternoon. And every person was writing them. Tammy and Ashley, the two employees of the 9th JDC hearing office, Henrietta Lewis, my colleague at Faith House, and I, all four of us were writing. And those are just the ones that we walked through. Those aren't that doesn't include the numbers of people who came seeking an order who did not qualify for an order.
So it's definitely an issue during the holidays.
It's definitely an issue during the holidays, exactly.
Now, before we run out of time, I know you have a lot of things that we can all talk about, but the greater potential for danger that we were talking about, there's different criteria that people should check off the list.
Absolutely. If you have been strangled at any time in the relationship, but especially during the past year, if you've had at least one trip to the emergency room in the past year, if your perpetrator has made a very specific threat to your life and maybe to his life as well, then that's another marker that he's potentially lethal. It's one thing, Sherman, for me to say, I'm going to kill you. It's another thing for me to say, we're going to go to the movies, I'm going to buy 2 tickets, I'm going to wrap your body in Visqueen and dump you in a bayou before I ever get to the theater. So as with suicide threats, the more specific, the greater the likelihood that the perpetrator will actually follow through on the threat.
Yeah, it's a strong subject, but it needs to be talked
Absolutely. About. And there are things that a person can do. You can call us and we can work on a safety plan with you, and we can help you get a restraining order if that's an option you want to choose.
Yeah, and there's a few numbers that people are looking at right now in Rapides, of Boyles, and then their 24-hour line?
Absolutely. That's the statewide crisis hotline. And wherever you dial that number, it's going to ring at the domestic violence agency geographically closest to you.
Okay. All right. We'll go and check this out. And if you are in need of help, there's a phone number right there for you. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah. We'll be right back.